Hey, what's going on, y'all? Showtime Sports Media, man. So, Kawhi Leonard, man. I'm gonna just put it like this, bro. If he done for the year, um, it's bad news for the Clippers, bro. And I don't think a lot of people will blame him. If they lose, if Kawhi Leonard is out, because I don't think people look at PG in that way and say, okay, he's gonna be able to carry it. Maybe they might look at it and be like, okay, Paul, this is your chance to actually prove that you can do it and prove that you can be the man on a team that at least make the Eastern Conference Finals again. If not, get to the finals and play, either Milwaukee or Brooklyn or Philadelphia or even Atlanta. Shit, because Atlanta beat Philadelphia and Philly once before in Game 1. So if they do it tonight and they go back to Atlanta, bro, I'm telling you, bro, I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta shocked the world. I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta shocked the world. But that's another story for another time, bro. They all play tonight. So, and like I said, speaking of Kawhi Leonard, bro, his team play tonight. Now whether he gonna play or not, pretty much not, because that man, they said that man got a sprained knee or a sore knee or whatever, so he not gonna play. And the thought is he probably not gonna play for the rest of the playoffs. Um, and the fear is that he may or may not have an ACL. If it is an ACL, then it's pretty much done. It says, it's curtains for him. It's over. But for all the people on NBA Twitter, for all the people on YouTube that kept talking about, and all the people in the national media, you Stephen A. Smith, Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, type commentators. Yeah, I'm calling y'all dudes out because y'all sat up there on national TV for the last 2-3 years and called this man out. And when he was in San Antonio, he was hurt. He was hurt. Pop should have believed him it. But then as soon as he became the enemy, as soon as he became anti-LeBron, as soon as he became the enemy, and he went over to the Clippers instead of the Lakers, or he didn't choose Toronto, which is, at least he away from LeBron. We might be able to play him in the finals instead of, having to play him head to head. As soon as that happened, how many games Kawhi Leonard did miss? You got Chris Broussard on TV, talking that shit. Man, I'm calling dudes out today. Yeah. I'm calling dudes out today. It's because the hypocrisy of this shit, bro. And Jalen Rose is the only solid dude on TV, I swear to God, that actually told the truth about this when it was going on with Kawhi Leonard back in San Antonio. Like, he told people when Kawhi was in Toronto, he said, bro, the dude got bad knees. He said the dude got bad knees. He said the dude got, like, deteriorating, like, knees, like, bad knees, bro. The way he got to, like, manage it to a point where he may not play 60, 70 games a year. He might play, like, 50 games a year. And you just going to have to live with it. And if you're good enough to play, if you're good enough to make the playoffs, yeah, he's going to be available for the playoffs. Because he know how important that is. He know how important the championship run is to, his team and himself personally and, his legacy and how, he viewed as a NBA player. But Jalen Rose tried to tell y'all years ago, bro, when this was happening, like, he tried to tell y'all and y'all wouldn't listen. Now you see what's going on with this. Like, it caught up with Kawhi Leonard. It caught up with, it caught up with Donovan Mitchell. It caught up with Mike Conley. It caught up with, now, depending on how Donovan feel tonight and how he play tonight, in Utah, maybe the crowd in Utah can help him, feel a little bit better and give him a little spring to his step, since they are at home, and at least give him some type of a boost that he didn't have in game 4, when he was in LA. Cause I watched that game, bro. Like, I mean, I watched game 3. I watched game 3. I didn't get a chance to see game 4, but game 4, he really he started off slow, and then he started to pick it up a little bit. He got his numbers, but it just wasn't the same. So maybe the crowd in Utah give him that extra boost. But you see it then caught up with the Utah Stars, and they was healthy all year. And I said it before, like the playoff start. I said the difference between Utah this year and last year was health. Like Mike Conley was healthy up until this point. Donovan Mitchell was healthy up until this point. Rudy Gobert, Ingles. You had all these dudes, man. Derek Favors. You had all these dudes, man, that was healthy this year that wasn't really healthy last year, and missing a ton of games, and messing up their chemistry, man. Like, especially Mike Conley. And now you see it. Now you see it this year. Ready to caught up with everybody. Caught up with LeBron and AD. Caught up with Jimmy Butler. He caught up with Milwaukee to a degree because they lost Dante DiVincenzo, who was a good 3-point shooter and could play some solid defense. I wouldn't say a actual real like 3-and-D player, but he could play some solid defense. But now they got him replaced with Pat Connaughton and PJ Tucker and all these dudes. You seen how that worked last night against Brooklyn. Shout out to Kevin Durant, by the way, and Jeff Green and Blake Griffin, who I feel like Blake ain't really getting a whole lot of love today because of what Jeff Green did, and I don't think a lot of people expected Jeff Green to do that. But I don't think a lot of people expected Blake Griffin to do that. I did it because I'm like, look, Blake Griffin can still play 25, 30 minutes a game. Like, y'all just, like, he just chose to take a role in Brooklyn rather than be the man in Detroit and destroy his body for a franchise that ain't going to do shit for the next 10 years. So, there's that, right? But last night he was cooking. Like, he made Giannis pay on the other end. He made Brook Lopez pay on the other end. And Giannis was kind of like cooking him a little bit too. Taking advantage of the fact that Blake can't really move. Blake ain't really move like that no more. Not that he was really like twitchy, a twitchy defender. He can really get back on you like that back in the day, but you look at it now and like the injuries and everything that caught up with him. Giannis was burning them up, but Milwaukee choked that game away. And if they ain't choking, somebody better resuscitate him right now, because if that's the death knell, if they go back to Milwaukee and they lose, because I knew they wasn't going to, they not beating them in Brooklyn, bro. I knew they wasn't going to beat them in Brooklyn, bro. Kevin Durant was not going to allow that. He didn't allow it the first 2 games. He wasn't going to allow it when they back was against the wall. Like, I don't know what y'all expected. But anyway, man, like, Kawhi Leonard, bro, if Kawhi is on the victim list for the injuries, and I didn't even talk about CP3. Let me talk about CP3. I was going to give him his own video, but I'm already talking for like 10 minutes already. So, like, CP3 is in the health and safety protocols for the league at this point with the Phoenix Suns. And depending on how he come back and he feel when he recovers, and depending on the timeline, the Suns already swept Denver, so they just waiting on their next opponent. Depending on how that go, he may or may not be back for the rest of the playoffs, but we'll see.